Happy Tuesday after Thanksgiving. What did you guys do? Did you have fun? If you guys are new here, my name is Laura. I am the creator and founder of Healing to Happy. This whole thing we got going on here, I help women that are suffering from IBS to heal without medications or restrictions or eliminations. And if you're here, lawn mowing day is on Tuesday, so I might have to switch it up. Today we are going to be diving into why I never advise my girlies and anyone else to do detoxes after the weekend or Thanksgiving or holidays or all that stuff. So let's dive in, shall we? The reason I can't even tell you how many times Holly would come around and I was the running joke when I was still teaching English back in Thailand, because every Monday I was on some type of different cleanse or reset or detox or shoving mouthful of supplements and laxatives to make up for the bingers on the weekend. Does that sound like you? It was exhausting. It was like every single time a week would roll around and it just, I was so in this, I was following all the gut protocols properly, to a T. I was perfect Monday to Thursday. And then I would just get so tired of it and want to cut loose, and especially during the festive season, and just I could do it, I didn't want to. And I was exhausted and just fed up with the whole process. And so I binge, and I would either eat too much or drink too much, and I had no balance. And in the back of my mind, now let me know if this sounds like you, in the back of my mind, I always had, it's fine, I'll just detox Monday. And so I would just go all in, and that's not healthy. That's not a healthy relationship with food. That's not a healthy relationship with life. And it's not respecting the body. And what I help my girlies kind of understand is through that journey. Because it just, especially during the festive season, you want to be present. And the biggest joy of life is knowing what is coming fresh, especially after being away for 6 years, is being able to be in body and not worrying about food, and not worrying, being exhausted by that question, looking at something and being well, what's in this? Because you don't know if you can have it or not. And you become that girl. No one wants to be that girl. And you don't have to detox it away on Mondays. And it actually makes things worse, because when you're doing these juice cleanses or fasts or anything like that, it puts your body into an even higher state of fight or flight, which, if you've been following me by now, you know the method that I teach inside of Gut Recharge is how to, the gut-brain connection. So your body needs to know how to be safe to truly heal. And that was the missing link, because I did the same things. I was following the gut protocols, I was detoxing, I was doing the enemas and the Miralax and the Senna and the juice cleanses and the intermittent fasting and all that kind of stuff. And still there was nothing healing. And what I realized over that path was just, one, I had no social life, so lame. Two, that those restrictions and those methods of healings were actually putting my body into a fight or flight. And that's what I've gone on to teach hundreds of other women as well. And I was actually on the phone with one of my one-on-one clients. And she was like, who would have thought that the healing method to all this was actually eating more food? And I want you to sit with that for a second, because that's the truth. Is for your body to heal, it needs fuel. Your cells need to thrive. So starving yourself or just putting juice into your body without any fiber or balance or protein, your body's going to go into fight or flight. It's going to, there's a whole sciencey bits behind it, where then your liver is overproducing and or being overwhelmed by trying to detox. So it's not producing enough bile. So then you're not producing enough of it's basically your body's natural laxative production. And so you're not being able to poop. And it puts your body even to a more fight or flight, which is why especially if you are like how I was and a lot of the girlies I've worked with in that binge restrict cycle. It's just your body's going like this, and this is where anxiety comes in and food fear and all that kind of stuff, which is not what you need this holiday season. Like, you deserve freedom. You deserve to be empowered by your health and not be worrying about what you're going to do Monday or what's in a certain food or can you eat it or any of that stuff. Like, that's not a way to, like, you deserve that blueprint you have set forward, right? We're stepping into that new month. Also, happy December 1st. Like, we made it through 2020. But stepping into that new month of just like breaking free, so you don't have to do that binge restrict, because you're putting yourself into that fight or flight. And like, what I teach my girlies inside of Gut Recharge, and, you know, like, say you and I were going to be working together, it's looking at what you want in the future and understanding, like, is that gut program, is doing a cleanse every single Monday something you can really see yourself doing consistently? You know, and that was the shock in the face to me, is not only did my body eventually give up, like huge rashes, hyperthyroidism, different autoimmunities, my hair falling out, but like, I didn't stop to look at the people I was learning from and being like, well, is that the life I want to live? Like, this perfectly aligned, no pasta, no cheese, no bread, no nightshades, no eggs, no peanut butter. Like, is that something I really can see myself doing in the future? And am I going to have to keep detoxing my way out of this? No. And your body, this beautiful vessel that we have, will always keep you safe, is always trying to find balance, is always trying to keep you healthy. And so when you start to have digestive issues and you start to feel a little bit wobbly, it's just your body trying to get back in balance. And I know when you're suffering from IBS or anxiety, it's exhausting because you don't know what's causing it, which is exactly why I have the free training on how to heal bloating and food sensitivities, which I will link after this training. Because when you feel like you're so disconnected, you don't know what's causing these flare-ups. Let me break it down for you. You just had an awesome weekend, my friend, right? Like, you just enjoyed maybe a little more extra food than you're used to. Maybe you let loose a little bit. Maybe you drank more than you usually do and didn't sleep as much, okay? So your body isn't in balance. It is not in flow. That does not mean it is broken. It does not mean it needs to be starved or punished or any of that. You are allowed to enjoy yourself, and your body will get back in balance as long as you're giving it the essential nutrients it needs: protein, fat, fiber, water, sleep, the basics. Getting down to this nitty gritty. And we dive deeper into this in Gut Recharge of how to really navigate this in and out. But I know this is a big one that you guys are, if I see another detox cleanse, I swear to God. But at the root of it, it's understanding how you can give yourself permission to be human, and understanding like, oh yeah, like I did do that to my body. So it's giving me this awesome signal of, hey, you're a little bit thrown off. Can you help me get back in balance? And it's just going back to the basics. It's going back to what you know and love and where your foundation are, and going from there. And if you are someone that you're not quite sure what your foundation is, then I invite you to go check out Gut Recharge, because walking you through the foundations of literally every single thing that the entire method that I've used over the years, that I now use every single day with ease, because it's the foundations of healing your body and healing the gut-brain connection. Because if you are following these gut protocols, right? Like, if you are feeling like you're detoxing all the time, and mine was every Monday, you're walking pharmacy, you are constantly asking like, what is in this? And you've become that girl, you know, it's just isolating. And when you get the foundations, you no longer are that girl, because you know what to do. You don't need that stuff. Like, I was on the phone this morning, I was telling an applicant for the Gut Accelerator program that like, I'm only on one women's multivitamin, and then I take like collagen, protein, but that's it. So no more money wasted on all of that stuff. And when you have the foundations, you're able to, your body detoxes itself, right? Like when your liver is functioning properly, it detoxes itself. When your metabolic rate is functioning properly, it detoxes itself. When you are having a unicorn poop every single Monday, it detoxes itself. So in that process, it's not about how do we clean out the body, it's how do we get the body back into balance. And that just comes from getting back to your foundations and letting your body know it's safe so that it can heal. And the only way to do that is to not stress it out, is to not take away food, but add food in, and the right foods for your body so that it's absorbing it and it knows it's safe and it can start healing. Does that make sense to you guys? Are you feeling that? Are you vibing on with that? Does that sound a lot more easier than juicing for the next 3 days? Like my parents do this fast. And they only have liquids, and it's not even real liquids. It's like salty soup for like 3 days. It is what it is. But yeah, things like that, it just overrides, especially as women, like it's just too much. And really, I encourage you to look at whatever gut program is popping up that you feel trapped by, or the gut protocols you're on, and really ask yourself, like, is this something I can do long term? Like, yeah, maybe for 21 days it's totally fine, but are you really going to be living this detox lifestyle, or do you actually want to get to the root cause of why this is happening, not just continually putting a band-aid over band-aid over band-aid on it, but looking at, okay, so why does this keep happening? Why do I keep having to detox on Monday, right? And why does my body keep bloating and all these weird things? It's like sometimes it bloats and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I'm okay and sometimes I'm not. It just creates anxiety, and it creates all this unpredictability that just is so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, and I know because I was there. And so these gut programs and all that kind of stuff that are trying to say, hey, there is no detoxing. Like, nothing is wrong with you. You are allowed to have fun over the weekend. You are allowed to enjoy the holiday without feeling like Monday you have to restrict yourself until Christmas. Like, no, there's Christmas cookies to be had. And I saw one of my friends Julia's post. It's just like, no, you've never seen a sad person eating a Christmas cookie. Fact. And you should not avoid that. It's a joyous time, and you are allowed to be human and have human moments. And that's food. There is food freedom inside of gut healing. And I would just really encourage you guys to step into that and, you know, ask yourself, how would your healthiest and happiest version of you, how would they act? And where does that align? And if you don't know where that is, let's jump on a call and see if Gut Recharge is the right fit for you. And then you can drop a comment below saying, what should we say? Gut started. Say gut started below. And I will reach out to you to see what questions you have at roadblocks, how you're feeling after the holidays. It's super weird. It's a different breed out there right now, but it's a breed we're rolling with, huh? So yeah, that's it for today. Just really encouraging you guys to give yourself permission, love yourself through the process and the journey of figuring out what works and what doesn't, what lights you up and what doesn't. And lean more into what does light you up, because it is a new month, my friend. It is the last month of 2020, and there is still time to make it the best year yet, because it's such an intuitive space to dance into if it calls for you. Anyways, rambling now. Have a good rest of your lovely, lovely Tuesday, and I will chat with you guys soon. Happy healings.